it's Rebo here with Interactive Scrapbooking. This is my Diagon Alley layout, and in this video I'll be showing you this and my Hogwarts Adventure layout, and I'll be going through it and showing you kind of behind the scenes of what I did to make these pages so themed. It doesn't go over how to do all the folds and flips and tricks, but it goes over all the various supplies that I used to create these pages, because it was quite a bit of various stuff. There was no one kit to make this layout. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I clearly had a great time getting this to be so magical and kind of dark and spooky. Really enjoyed it. So we'll start with the paper for this one. For this one, I used pretty much these two. It's majority of this, and I apologize, these are older paper packs. I just pick them up anytime I find pretty much anything obscure. I buy it because I'm like, oh, I can use that for something. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh yes, this is Harry Potter Slytherin all the way. So it's Naturally Scary. This was a Recollections hot buy around Halloween a couple years ago at Michael's. But it was just so perfect for Harry Potter. I used quite a bit of this. There's not a ton left in this kit. But yeah, it's so nice and creepy. So that one, and then I also definitely used, my cover came off, I definitely used the snake piece of paper that was in here, and I apologize, I can't remember what else I used, but this was also a really good one to have fun with, and I used this one predominantly for my Beetlejuice layout that is in a separate video. So those are the paper packs. Also, to make some of the gold pieces, this is the copper, but this is what I use. It is foil cardstock by Recollections, 65-pound weight. You get 25 sheets, and I use this with die cuts to make a lot of these pieces. So let's see. So we'll start with the goodies. So I made tons and tons of die cuts. I did tons of different feather die cuts that I'd found on Amazon, and tons of different various leaf ones. And I did definitely the colors that went with the theme. The copper ones you'll see in a bit are from my other Harry Potter layout. So I did all the different leaves and feathers, and then I did these hexagon pieces. I love these. These just work so well. Again, I got that on Amazon at some point. I used Echo Park. They have a 6x6 little paper pack. I didn't want to use the whole paper pack because it was just too cutesy for me. I really wanted to get it kind of more spooky like, but some of these papers were absolutely perfect. And then I used some of their Emperor packs. I think there's 2 different packs in here, and this is what I have left. You can see there's quite a bit. So that went pretty far. And then these are the other die cuts from when I was testing out cutting out the clock and gears. I felt like that worked really well for some of the parts. So that's also another die cut on Amazon. And then I also did die cuts of chess pieces. I thought that worked so well for Harry Potter. And these are just the pieces that I have left. So there's those. And then the other big thing that I used was this Magic Potions holiday from Close to My Heart. I used their stamps and then just stamped them out. And then pretty much, these are all just the extras that I sponged using, let's see, the Distress Oxides ink and the little foamy pads with ink blenders to get them all smudgy, just to make them look kind of creepy like. And then this piece I had gotten at one of the scrapbook conventions, but yeah, you can see it's like a lot of leaves. For me, leaves always work. You can pretty much put leaves in everything, and so you can see my potion labels, once again, that worked well. And then like these were the various ephemera packs that I used. And the biggest thing too was also using my little scrapey tool. This one I'd gotten a million years ago from Stampin' Up. It basically just has little razors inside. You can pretty much also just use a pair of scissors. So I'll just demonstrate on this. So you can, let's not do it over the page. That's not a great idea. So you can see, you just kind of scrape it and then that'll rough up the edge really well. And the same thing with this, just easier and less chance of you cutting yourself, and it works a little faster. Just because you don't have to be so careful. So that works really good, and that gives these really nice rough edges on these to make them look more worn, because Harry Potter's very worn looking when you watch the movies. It's kind of old and crusty and magical. Once again, my little clock die cuts. I thought those were so great. Here I even cut like through the paper to get the top of the glass on there. And let's see, on the front, this is a postcard that I had gotten, I think in 2010, back when they had a Harry Potter exhibit at the Museum of Science in Boston. I remember it was in 2010 because my daughter was born in 2009, and we went when she was less than 1. So that's how I can remember. This is also from those paper packs I showed you. They had such nice, creepy little things in there. And then like I put an emperor over this, they just blended so nicely. This I had to keep pretty much the whole paper. It was just so perfectly and creepy. Loved it. And then here I did a acetate sheet, and then just framed it with some pieces. That way you could actually add glue to the acetate without it showing. So just framed that out. Let's see, and then yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. So then I will go over to the Hogwarts Adventure layout. So this is my Hogwarts Adventure layout. This one I got, let's see, 31 pictures in this one. Once again, used the postcards that I had gotten from that Museum of Science exhibit. I'm sure they can be found somewhere online, but yeah, just loved it. So I'll go over how I did all these potion bottles. That was my favorite thing about this. Once again, used the Emperor pack and the Close to My Heart stamps. Same thing there, but I will go over how I did the potions because that was my favorite thing, and my wax as well. Also, I did create my own quotes for these. I am super happy to share. I spent so much time on them. I would be glad to email them to you. Just send me a email and I will send it out to you. It also comes with a secondary sheet of the potion labels that we will get to in just a bit. So that's where all these quotes came from. Again, would love to share with you all, so definitely send me a note if you are interested. Once again, my potion bottles and just these little various leaves and whatnots, my gears. Love doing these little die cuts. They just came out so very nice. And let's see, scoop that over. Once again, the elixir from those potion labels. So now I will get into showing you what I did to make those little bottles. Actually, we'll start with this. We'll start with that. That's much easier. So this is, I got these on Amazon. They're just wax seals, and I was able to find this platform 9 3/4, which was just amazing. And then these were my fails. This is where you just pour wax onto the cardstock after you go through all the melting process, and then just stamp it with the metal stamp and then let them dry. And then I literally would just cut out after to then apply it onto the paper. That way it would stay glued, because these are attached to this paper pretty good. They really are tough to peel off. So you're very easily able to just cut these out and glue the back of your cardstock. So that's the wax seals. So now this is my potion bottles. So to do these, what I did, and I'll show you in just a second, is I took This is Message in a Bottle. It was a stamp of the month from Close to My Heart. So I'm just going to take this little friend. Okay. I'm going to take my acrylic block and apply my little stamp to it. I'm going to move this out of the way. We do not want to hurt the page. Scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to use the bottom of my little labels. These are ones that I had found on Google, and I just resized them because they're a lot bigger. And then I got it set up so that when you get this, you print it, this is how it spits out on the second page. So I'm using Versamark ink. It's a clear ink if you've not used it before. So I'm just getting it all inked up. Oh, let's see, pause. Ah, this is the step I always forget. So when you're using embossing powder, that's what we're about to do. You need to get this little, it's like the step 1 of embossing. It gets rid of any static. It gets rid of any fingerprints. It's pretty much just baby powder in a satchel. You can see my fingers are getting nice and white from it. Very important because I'll show you in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on there, lift it off. It's pretty sticky. You can kind of see it. Normally you cannot, but my ink pad is quite old and has been well loved. So now, these are very professional tools. Paper plate, unwaxed paper plate. That is what I like to use for embossing powder. So this is a black embossing powder. It is not a detailed powder. This is by Ranger. I got this, gosh, I would say I got it either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. That's generally where I get it. This black one has a lot of clumps in it, so that'll be nice and dumpy when you do this. So with embossing powder, you want to have something below you because this is messy stuff, especially with the black. So you can see black powder only is really sticking. You can see little speckles, but it's only sticking to where I had done the stamp. If we had not done that little brushy thing with the satchel, then you can see fingerprints and other things tend to stick. So I'm just going to blow on it, get those other little pieces off. You can see it's now better. And now I'm going to take my heat tool. This does require a heat tool. It does not work with a hairdryer. Hairdryers do not get hot enough. So, and it's, you can see my heat gun is well loved. Now I'm just going to heat it up, and you'll see that it's going to turn shiny, and that is when it is done cooking. It just takes a minute. Going around all those little lines here. There. Set that off to the side. So you can see that's nice and shiny. And the key to that, the reason for that is that when you go to then go through the joy of, we'll use this one, was fussy cutting it out. Then you go to sponge, like I'll show you in just a second. You can see the difference. This is with the emboss. It's still a nice clear line. Still see the detail in it. Whereas this one, the inks really overlaid it, and you lost so much of your detail to even see that it was a bottle. So the embossing to me was very essential for doing this. So yeah, see here, I didn't use my little satchel, and you can see I have little specks. That's okay in this instance because we want it a little messy. It is Harry Potter. So let's see, we're gonna use, this is how I store my little inks here. Let's do, what color are you? You are Forest Moss. So it's just a piece of vinyl plastic that I then put on these very, very sticky Velcro pieces. And then I need a little handle. Got that, and you can see I'm already getting lots of ink on me. If you've not used these inks are amazing, but oh, they are messy. So I'm just getting it some more ink. And I don't want to go doing the whole thing. I want it to be kind of, let's see, kind of just more brushed on so that the middle isn't so very much colored. So here I'm going to go really harsh on the edges, putting a lot more pressure because I really want that to have most of it, making the bottles look a little more dusty, if you will. So then I'm just going to go very lightly in the middle. And then it gives it that more, that one came in a little less, but that gives it a more rounded look to the bottle. So then, put that off to the side, maybe. So then I took these little potion labels, fussy cutted those things out, and then went through the same sort of process with the sponging. So this one I'm going to use the unfiltered poison. And I'm just going to glue that one on there. Whoopsie. Oh geez, dropping everything here. And then that's not quite centered. There, and that's the bottle. And then I also did the little corks that are in here. You can see they're really well stained. So I did the corks as well, and I gave them a little tail. Whoops. That made it much easier to glue. So then I'm just putting a little tiny bit of glue on the end, and then that will allow me to pick up my cork. And there, now it's very official looking. So that is one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed making. I just came up with that one day when I was going through my stamps, and I was like, ooh, potion bottles, that's fun. So yeah, I'm again very, very happy to share these with you all. Just send me an email and I am happy to send you the quote sheet. And yeah, once again, I used the little chess pieces. I'm sure you can probably cut those out with your Cricut. Also the same thing with the little swirls and the leaves. So much of that can be done on the Cricut as well. I like both. I like both worlds. Same with the gears. I find that with the Gemini, it tends to really press and give it some embossed edges as well. That's why I like doing that versus just the Cricut. Like you can see, this one was just the Cricut and it was much flatter versus this one has the embossing to it. So yeah, I just wanted to share. I so very much appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. I really am grateful. Thank you. Bye.